Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be making fire cider. I've been talking about it for a while and I'm finally going to make it now that I've got all my thoughts together on it. So if you're here just for the recipe or you're here for what fire cider is a tincture made out of oranges, jalapeno peppers, onions, garlic, rosemary, and horseradish. There is a lot of different recipes on it, but you're going to be putting apple cider vinegar over top of it and letting it sit for 6 to 8 weeks or longer depending on how strong you want it. And it's really good for colds. It opens up your airways. It's a good diuretic, inflammation, digestion. Definitely check out all the health benefits on fire cider. There's a lot of information on it out there. Just saying, I'm not a doctor, but this is what I do for my family. That disclaimer is down below. But I'm going to show you guys how I make it. So this is about my 6th or 8th recipe that I've done with this. I've been making it for quite a while. It lasts me a while. So these two I've already made, and they have been in apple cider vinegar for quite a while. And so has this one, and this is the one that I am currently using. So apple cider vinegar will rust out your jars. This one here, I actually didn't even put a plastic down. I just never really shook it too much, and it did minimal rusting to my lids, which you don't want. And then I have this one right here, and I had put a wax paper under it and it kind of caught the rust, but when you lift up the jar lid, it definitely rusted the sides of the lid, so that is just not good. You don't want that. So you either need to use a plastic lid or you need to put a piece of plastic under that lid, like a bread bag or something. So I use a bread bag, and there's no rust under it at all. So a bread bag, a tortilla bag, any type of plastic, probably not plastic wrap because it's not very thick. And then once this is ready, what you're going to do is you're just going to strain it out into a jar, and then the rest of what is inside, you'll just throw it out. You could throw it out, I think you could probably throw it out to your chickens. Chickens can pretty much eat all of that. I'm just not sure about the apple cider vinegar. You'd probably just do your research. So anyway, putting it in little pint-sized jars. Another thing is Ball actually sells plastic lids, but you can also use peanut butter lids. They fit perfectly on top of these jars. So don't throw out your peanut butter lids. And then you can also buy jars with plastic lids, just like the ones that I have my herbs in. I show those in another video. But yeah, you can just use your peanut butter lids, and then just fill it right on to the top. And we're good to go. And so this one here, you can see that this one is a little bit darker than this one is, and that's just the difference in their age and what I put in them. So you're also going to be putting honey inside of them as well, and that's just to sweeten it to taste. Now you can add this to the jar, the honey, or you can put it in the cup that you're like actually drinking for the day. I've done it both ways. For my kids, I will sweeten it as I go, and I'll also add just a little bit of sweetener into the jar. So you're just going to dump out everything in the jar, wash it, and then I will come back and I will show you how I make it. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we're back, we have a clean sterile jar, and the first thing we would do is we would just cut up some onion. Doesn't have to be fine, just chop it up into chunks, and then you're gonna layer this. So just put a couple chunks in the bottom, just like that. Set your other onion pieces to the side. I'm only going to be making this half gallon today. And then your oranges, just make sure your stickers are off of them. And what I like to do with my oranges, some people will cut them into like slivers, and then some people will cut them into chunks. It's really up to you and what you like. I think cutting them into these little slivers is really pretty, especially because you can like line them like along the side of the jar. It kind of looks pretty. But anyway, that's up to you, however you would like to do it. And you're gonna throw in like all of it. I like to do quite a bit of oranges. That onion, oh my goodness, it's getting to me. Whew, okay. Next thing you're gonna do is the jalapenos. Now, I'm just going to cut the tops off of those, and just like in here for my chickens. Chickens don't have the taste for spicy, so you can just give them cayenne pepper. You can give them jalapeno pieces, and it's really good for their egg production, and I think it helps with their worms as well. So give that to your chickens. And I'm gonna cut up, I don't know, 3 or 4 jalapenos for the middle, and then the garlic, that'll be the next thing. And with this, we're just gonna, you can use fresh garlic, that's what you need, your cloves, but you can buy it prepackaged like this, or you can buy in the bulbs and peel it. Totally up to you. This is easier for me. And what I do is I just kind of cut it into, if they're really big, into 3 little pieces. And stick those in there. You're gonna pack this pretty tightly. The only thing I don't have to put in it today is the rosemary, and I will be putting that in there. So if you don't have an ingredient like your herbs, say they didn't have rosemary, they didn't have horseradish, which is another thing I don't have. It actually wasn't in my last 2 recipes because I just couldn't find it. You can put it in later. Like, you can go to the store later in the week and pick it up. So you're just gonna layer this up, and as you do that, just gonna fill that jar up. And the oranges, they really take up a lot of space in this, depending on how you cut them, obviously. But I like to cut them in these little rings. And like I said, you're putting the whole thing in there, not throwing anything on that orange away. You'll want to definitely pack the whole thing in there. We're gonna grab a few more peppers. I'm gonna chop the tops off. And just cut them up and throw them in. And for the top ones, I don't cut them quite as fine. I leave them in bigger chunks, just because they look really cool in the jar. And then same way with my garlic, I want it to be pretty good sized chunks, because if I cut it any smaller, the apple cider vinegar will break those garlic cloves down, and it'll start looking really cloudy, and I didn't have any garlic in one of my other ones, and so I decided to use garlic powder and horseradish paste, and it did something to the color. So like this one you see is more clear, and then the sediment from it kind of just goes to the bottom, or this one has a more cloudy texture. It's kind of all in those herbs that you use. So I think about another half of orange will go in here, and then I'll just eat the other half. These look like pretty good oranges. Some oranges you get at the store, they don't look that great, but these ones have been a big hit. My middle son loves oranges, and he's ate the recipe oranges like 2 times. I've been to the store twice. I think it might all fit. Just to get oranges. So they're really good. Okay. So next thing we're gonna do is put the apple cider vinegar in this. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about our apple cider vinegar. So the best vinegar that you're going to use is an organic vinegar. But if you cannot find organic vinegar, just regular apple cider vinegar works too. Depending on what I'm doing, depends on which one I use. So for this one, I am going to use the organic one. Now, the organic, you got to shake it up, and that has a little bit to do with your color too, because the organic one has a little bit of a more cloudy texture to it. And I'm probably not going to have enough for this one to use all organic. So let's just, yeah, so we'll have to use just a little bit of this regular one. And we're just going to fill it on up, and then we're going to place a lid on this. So the lid we're going to be using is just a non-rusted lid and some plastic. So this one here is going to be a wide mouth lid. We're going to just put it under our counter, keep it in a dark place, and then whenever the time is up, you'll just take it out, strain it, and then drink it. I drink a shot glass full of it a day, and that keeps the colds and the flu season and also the inflammation out of your body as well. Like I said, do some more research on it. Fire cider is really awesome, and this is my fire cider recipe and how I make it. I don't have the herbs, but once I get them, I will shove them down in the sides and it'll be done. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye, guys.